Ready to go?
Go.
Awesome. My name is Philip Michael Scales. I am Briar Rabbit. Born and bred in Bloomfield area of Michigan, since this is Motor City Blog, so you guys don't beat me up for saying I'm from Detroit when I'm elsewhere. I have claimed Chicago as home, though, but it's always nice to come back to Detroit. I started in bands when I was about 13-ish, somewhere along there. Played backyard shows, played horrible shows, and then, you know, continued evolving, and I guess all along the way somebody heard something in there that was a little bit, you know, a little bit good for a little while, and they kept saying, you know, good job, or you should keep it up, or sort of stuff like that, and what kind of kept me inspired is going to shows and going to other people's shows and realizing that, like, this sort of feeling that I had when I'm on stage and performing and playing and singing and shouting and stamping is addictive. So I just kind of kept with it, and, you know, I was in a band called the Basement Heroes to first started. I mean, it was like garbage rock, and then I was in a slightly better band called Philipism, where I started like exploring more of like an acoustic side, and then I went to college, and I was at Berklee College of Music, and there's a band called This Is How Rumors Get Started. We played a little bit, we toured from Chicago and Boston. We kind of went between there. We did that a whole bunch, and then, you know, it kind of ended rather sour. Bandmates and all that other drama that kind of enters the picture when, you know, 5 people have the sort of same intention and the same goal, but rather they kind of end up being, you know, running in sort of all these different directions, and everybody kind of gets mad at each other because they all want the same thing. They're just going about it different ways. So the transmission of my van died. Both my grandmothers got sick. I graduated college, and my rent was $975 for my half. So I think that was the world telling me to move on. And so I moved to Chicago, loved the heck out of that city, and then I just started writing sort of about my experience. That's how Briar Rabbit kind of came to be, was like, you know, writing about the company you keep, and, you know, moving around, and people who kind of hurt your feelings every now and then in bands. And, you know, a lot of that song, you know, they break your heart behind your back, they shove it in your face. Not about a girl, it was more about, like, you know, being in a band. And so I decided to kind of take it on my own and just sort of do me. You know, college is for cramming a whole bunch of things into your head in a very short period of time, and then I left college and sort of had a year to process that, and that's really what the company you keep is sort of about. And so now, yeah, I put it out, and I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. Played some shows, sold out my record release show. That was really fun. Played a show once a month, and then all of a sudden, a magazine comparable to Real Detroit or Metro Times called The Red Eye picked me up and decided that I was going to be one of their rock and vote artists, and people voted, and they liked it, and then, you know, kind of snowballed, and Taste of Chicago and Tribune wrote about us, and it was really great. I found some people to play with who are cool with, you know, playing my music and sort of the lay of the land. And then, yeah, I just signed with Wine from the Moon. It's a Chicago management company. They got awesome bands, Paper Thick Walls, The Damn Choir, and Good Evening are all, I mean, they're awesome, and it's one big family. So now, I mean, Briar Rabbit is just doing awesome with them, and, you know, we're getting put on the road and stuff like that. We're about to buy a short bus. We kickstarted it. We raised $6,200 for a short bus that is going to be converted to run on vegetable oil. So my friends got from New York to LA on $200 of diesel fuel with the veggie oil. So that's exciting. You know, I'll be able to be on the road more. I'll be able to come visit you guys more. Hopefully I'll be at the Magic Stick and the Crowfoot and all this other stuff that y'all know, y'all are hip to, and I'm kind of hip to because I hang out here every now and then. You know, Christmas, holidays, Thanksgiving, all that stuff. But yeah, so that is Briar Rabbit in a nutshell, and I guess, you know, I just want next year to be that much more fun and that much.
What do you see Briar Rabbit doing in the next 10 years, or what do you see yourself?
Next 10 years, I want to make hopefully 10 records, if not more. But yeah, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, and, you know, the response has been really cool. The response has been really great, and actually it was kind of funny going to music school. I talked to the guy from the Red Eye, and he was like, I really like your stuff. And I was like, cool, well, what really, like, got your attention? You know, because in the music school, like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. And he's like, you just write really good songs. And it kind of stopped me in my tracks, and I was like, word? Like, songs, music? Like, people buy that stuff still? And then all of a sudden he was like, yeah, and then it kind of just dawned on me, and so that was kind of one of those big inspirations that kind of keeps me going. So hopefully if people continue to write stuff, or hopefully if I continue to write stuff that people like, you know, we'll be all doing this interview 10 years older, and you guys will be high-paid bloggers, you know, for like Paste and Pitchfork and all that other stuff, and I'll be in a tour bus, you know, running on veggie oil, you know, and we'll all be sitting on piles of money. That's probably the dream, right? Yeah, I just hope to make really good records that people can sort of connect to, and you know, have that moment where people come up to me and go, that line right there, that was it. That was where I was, and you helped me, because that's kind of what music's all about. I mean, I kind of listen to music too for those reasons. If I ever met any of my favorite artists, all I would just say would be like, thank you. Like, thank you for writing Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. Thank you for writing Transatlantic. You know, thank you for writing Let It Be. Like, music isn't about buying or selling or whatever, or something to kind of like groove to your friends with or whatever. I mean, it is about all those things, but more specifically, I think it's all about like that moment where you can turn on that song, like, and all of a sudden you're back at your parents', like, you know, house, and you're like 6 and you're grooving to Marvin Gaye, or, you know, you're like back in the back seat of that car with that really hot girl, and you're like, oh yeah, or like, you know, you're back in that sad place, and you're like, man, Elliott Smith, I am so glad you felt that way before I did, because I did not know what I was about to do. So I just want to give that moment to somebody else, because I think it's a really powerful.